In some years, the number one pick of the NBA draft seems obvious. Whether it's 2003 with LeBron, 2011 with Kyrie, or 2012 with Anthony Davis, it's great when you really don't have to think about it and just pick a guaranteed star. This is not one of those years. The 2020 draft has elements of uncertainty incomparable to any other year. Due to the pandemic, the draft process has become very much altered, and on top of that, it's a wide open class where an argument can be made for a number of players to be picked first overall. Let's start with Anthony Edwards, who is thought to be the best player in college last year. Edwards has a unique combo of high athleticism, shot-making ability, and a built physique. He has a step-back move that looks like NBA material, and his deceptive quickness reminds me of James Harden. A lot has been said about his poor shot selection, but come on, he played at Georgia, so I'll give him a pass for taking contested threes over passing the ball. He's very confident and he has a very high ceiling. His floor, however, is pretty frightening for a potential number one overall pick. Weight issues could certainly be on the horizon, and his shooting efficiency was very sporadic. Not saying he'll be Anthony Bennett, but a lot can be said about his bust potential. Don't get me wrong, he's the number one player on most draft boards for a reason, but the discussion for the best prospect this year should not end with him. To look at another guy who's potentially going to go first, you'll have to go down under to the Aussie leagues. LaMelo Ball might be a familiar face in the States, but he proved a lot in a short overseas career. For one, he's a 6'7" guard who might still be growing. His playmaking ability shows glimpses of a true superstar, and he's got all the swag and confidence that you could ever want. His ceiling is ridiculously high. However, his lackadaisical attitude and poor performance in team interviews during the draft process confirmed what we thought of him during the reality TV show Ball in the Family. It seems like he's still got some growing up to do.
No.
Great.
His unconventional shot has also brought some inconsistency issues, but damn, he can make NBA plays and he knows it. Another American-born player gone overseas who has number one pick potential is Killian Hayes. Though born in Florida, Hayes grew up in France and was consistently playing around people much older than him. He's another playmaker who shows glimpses of NBA-ready instincts. He has an advanced feel for the game, and his shooting ability is a lot higher than his percentages beyond the arc would suggest. His footwork is also very impressive. Another perk, he's left-handed, which can throw defenders off. But a drawback, he's left-handed, and seems very much unconfident using his right hand. He still seems pretty raw when it comes to his handle, and his athleticism seems pretty mediocre at times. He doesn't really seem like a vocal leader yet, and though his decision making is more consistent than Edwards and Ball, his lack of a truly explosive first step and finishing abilities on both sides of the rim are something to be considered. Danyka Vetri is another overseas guy that has gotten a lot of attention, but in my opinion, he hasn't shown enough to warrant being drafted first overall. I don't doubt his feel for the game and raw talent. He certainly is the best prospect to come out of Israel by far, and his craftiness at the height of 6'9" is admirable. But he shot 52% on free throws last year, and his other shooting measurables were also below average. This makes me think that he just lacks a natural touch, and I'm not drafting a largely less athletic Ben Simmons first overall. He's still a great prospect, and he can make me eat my words and become the next Luka Doncic. But I would draft Edwards, Ball, or Hayes over him, and not really lose any sleep at all. With all of the characteristics of these players in mind, I would say that the number one pick is going to be Anthony Edwards. Let me be very clear, this wouldn't be my pick. I would personally draft LaMelo and bank on him maturing, but I think Edwards is who the Timberwolves will go with, and it's for a lot of reasons. Let's start with the on-court stuff. The Timberwolves want to build around D'Angelo Russell and Karl-Anthony Towns. I don't think Minnesota believes that LaMelo and Russell could coexist in the same lineup without hindering each other's performance. I also think that Timberwolves president of basketball operations Gerson Rosas, Daryl Morey's apprentice, would see a lot of James Harden and Edwards, as they both have big but athletic bodies, thrive in step-back threes, and finish inside very well. It should also be noted that general manager of the team, Scott Layden, took over as GM of the Knicks back in 1999, replacing Ed Tapscott. Before Layden took the position, Tapscott had selected Frenchman Frederick Weiss with New York's first-round pick. Weiss never played a game in the NBA, which is as much of a bust as you can be. It wasn't Layden's pick, but he had to deal with the consequences of a squandered first-rounder. Though I don't think Layden would look at Weiss and Killian Hayes in the same way just because they were both French, I wouldn't be surprised if Layden pushed back on drafting Hayes first overall. Weiss was taken with the 15th overall pick, so it'd be hard to imagine Layden being ecstatic about using the number one overall pick on another Frenchman. So there you have it. If I had to bet my money like my friends do on stupid things like this, I would bet on the T-Wolves selecting Anthony Edwards. But I personally think LaMelo and Hayes will both be better players when it's all said and done. What do you think? Let me know in the comments if you disagree with me or think I'm stupid. I love feedback.
Come after me! I'm a man!
But until the draft, this is all just speculation, so take that as you will.